Hello and welcome to the Let's Play DireWolf20 Season 2. I'm here with Letitia Angel,
Hello, everybody.
whom I would like to thank for cleaning up my wall over there. As you can see, it's no longer a huge mess. And I have here the setup for the boots of the horizontal shield. I'm going to go ahead and make that. I'm thinking probably one in the beginning of each episode until I'm finished. Alright, so it should begin. There we go. It's now taking the essence from the jars, starting with Terra.
Okay, so how do you activate it?
I literally click. You see the infusion matrix? It is the weird shaped cube sideways spinning.
It's the runic matrix?
Yes. I clicked on it with a wand. It doesn't matter what wand you use. It doesn't matter the power in the wand. It just needs to be clicked on with the wand. Now it's actually taking the essence Tudeman.
I like how the essence just gets sucked to it.
Right? If you notice, it's in like zigzags too.
Yeah. Ooh, that one's pretty. What is that?
That is, oh, I forget. Perfodio?
I was gonna say I can't see that one yet, so...
Well, no, I can't either because it's empty. Now it's draining the modus. Now it's draining the Lux. Lux Tish, by the way, is very easy to get. All you have to do is melt down torches.
That is easy.
Some of these are quite easy, some of them are not so easy. There's one that's quite hard, which I will have to do later, but just not right now, thankfully. Actually, Taint Essence is probably the hardest one. Of course, I made a way to make it easier, which I'll show my viewers here when I'm ready to set that up. Okay, it's beginning to eat items now off of the pedestals.
I was getting ready to ask you if they were supposed to disappear like that.
Only if you see the little particles flying off of them. If they disappear and there's no particles flying off of them, can you see the particles on them?
Yeah, I see particles. I see some purplish blue stuff.
Yes. If you see that, then yes, it's supposed to. If you don't see that, then there's a problem.
And is that when it blows up? Or does it not really blow up?
It only blows up in the sense that things blow up in your face. Like they go wrong. Now I have my haste, which is awesome, my climbing ability, and my never take damage from falling. So the next one, I should probably do the flying one so I don't actually have to morph to fly any longer. Okay, so that's the infusion that Tish wanted to see, and is now stealing my labels or something. You can actually take the labels off the jar before you pick them up. They'll be empty and you can stack them in with the rest of the empty ones.
I don't know where that is.
The diamond chest over here next to my research table right here.
Now, did you want me to combine any half-empty jars with ones that are not completely empty?
Do you know how?
Yeah, Alex showed me one day.
How did he show you?
Hold on, I'll show you the thingy. He said you showed him originally.
Okay, then he probably uses the same way that I did. Yeah, she's decided to clean up around here too, since really all you need is the essentia that you're going to be using for whatever you're using at the time. So it's probably good practice to clean it up, but I get lazy about doing that kind of thing. So most of the time my jars just circle it. Just like the first one you can see on my Let's Play announcement had some jars stacked up 3 tall and just a lot of stuff just sitting around everywhere. Okay, yeah, that is what I showed him. And here's the reason why I don't use the Essentia funnel. because if you have, say, 16 modus in one jar and 50 modus in another jar, and you use the funnel, it will completely drain all of your modus that's left over, and it will waste it. This here does not. Now, you have to take the label off the second one for it to work.
Right, I'm just trying to figure out where the modus... Oh, here it is.
Empty?
Yeah, it's empty. I'm looking in my inventory too, though.
Now, as you can see, I have some glass fiber cable. I went ahead and made them using Alex's macerator. I want to ask his permission because I don't want to have to go back up in there and clean it all out again. So I'm just doing it this way for now. And I've got to get used to these boots again. At first, when you start using them, it's a little troublesome, and then once you get used to it, you can't live without them. It's that kind of thing. But the speed that it gives you is just tremendous. It's awesome.
Okay, so... being that there was only 2 modus in that, I hope you're not mad, but I tried to remove the label and it drained.
Well, that's not a good thing by any means.
So I'm guessing I misunderstood how to take labels off, but I'll figure it out at some point. Just not with expensive essence.
Now, what I'm doing here is what you'll see later, because I'm doing this in 2 stages right here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to connect at the very top. Obviously, I'm going to put some solar panels, and then under these 3 sides here, not here, I'm going to put a series of MFSUs or something, probably MFSUs, and they're going to just come down this wall, probably not all the way because that would just be a little bit ridiculous, but they'll be allowed to fill up. Plus, I'm going to actually run a direct fiber cable down to the machines. That way it doesn't have to use the machines all the way to, the MFSUs to fill, and they're not constantly being drained and filled and drained and filled. This will actually relieve some lag doing it this way over just filling up MFSUs and using MFSUs only. And the MFSUs are just going to be for like at nighttime backup, pretty much, unless I might actually hook up an advanced, can't remember what it's called. It's somewhere in here. Here it is. Advanced information panel set up to tell me how much power is in my top MFSU. And the reason I want it in my top MFSU, I might even put one in my bottom also, but none in between. That way I'll know if the top one's full, we're good. We have nothing to worry about, or even close to full. They're all full because they'll cascade down to the bottom. Now, if it's empty, I might want a bottom one so that I can actually determine if I have to rush right out and fix my power issue. So, because if the bottom one's full, you don't have to rush right out and fix it. I'm hoping this all makes sense to you guys.
Sorry. Okay, so now that I have one of the less expensive ones that I just completely filled, how do I remove the label again? Would you please come over here? If you're not too busy.
I don't think I need to come over to tell you how to do it. I don't really understand, but I'll come over. Alright, so what's going on?
This is the one that is more expensive, correct? I mean, less expensive, right?
This is Saxum. It is made of stone. It is one of the cheapest ones to make because all you literally have to do to make it is throw stone in the alchemical furnace. And I'll show you how much I care about it. Watch. Deleted.
It's still there on my side.
It's not there. Bust. Well, take now to take the label off. Crouch and then left click or right click. I'm sorry, right click on the label itself. Only the label.
So if I aim at the jar, that's when it's bad, correct?
That's when it will delete it. Yes, and I had a graphical glitch showing that it was still there. On the label was still on there. All right. Go ahead and take if you want to take more and practice putting the labels on and taking them off. Go ahead. That's all it is. Now, if your hand is not empty, I don't think you can do it anyway. You'll have to test that theory with one of either the Saxum or the Metallum, which are in the two non-iron chests. They're the ones that I do not care about.
Now look at the label and right click after I crouch, right?
Yes. Yeah, for some reason I'm getting a graphical error that's showing the labels on them after you take them off. But as long as they're not on there, it doesn't matter. Okay, guys, so back to the setup over here. Now, this is all behind the wall because I don't care about what it looks like. I don't care about none of that stuff. And I might have actually wanted to make some more, but I'll make do with this. So I'm going to run some this direction. I'm going to run some that direction. This way I can just come in here, throw a machine up on there, on the sides, on these sides here basically, because I'll only be able to fit one in the center there. Throw some tubing stuff over it, basically is all I'm going to do. And this is gonna, like I said, have some of the MFSUs coming down through here, and you'll get to see me all set that up. And basically it's just a power buffer for nighttime. Now, yes, I realize that we don't have night cycle going on because of whatever reason going on with the owner and whatnot, but I still prepare for that kind of stuff anyway, because you never know. He might decide he wants to play with it on there, which I'd prefer. Tish would prefer. Most people would actually prefer it, but it just, you know what? I'm wasting actually here. I should just do it like this.
I gotta get my research done because I hate looking at those question marks and wondering what the heck they are.
Oh yeah, it's not research that unlocks those, Tish. It is actually going around and scanning everything with the scanner. I don't know if you've made that or not.
No, I haven't yet.
I don't think you have to have any research for it though, so it should be pretty easy. You probably, let me see, yeah, you'll find it in the fourth tab. It's the Artifice tab of the Thaumcraft book, and it's called the thermometer. It looks like a gold circle with a blue inside. If you actually want to borrow mine, you can. There may come a time when I need to upgrade the other solar panels on here, but I'm not going to stick all high powers on here for now.
That was neat. I like the sound it just made, filling the other jar.
But that's a 512, and these are what again? I forget. This one gives 1, that gives 8, 32, 512. Yes, so 32. So 3 32s and a 512 should be more than I could possibly need for a basic setup for now. However, I'm going to add stuff to it later, and unless I have a different power system, this should be fine for now.
I gotta tell you, I felt wrong. I feel wrong punching the Fames one to pick it up because I feel like I'm punching some guy in their face.
Nice. I'm actually tempted to put these in the wall, the glass fiber. Actually, that's what I'm going to go ahead and do that.
Do you ever still mess up on the labels?
Absolutely. I get really mad at myself when I do it because it's a huge waste of resources sometimes. Other times it's not so bad. But yeah. Not sure why I jumped there. This will also enable me to, if I so choose, to stick some machines here or run a power line off here. Actually, that's actually a good idea. Run a power line off here. Put some machines out there that's not connected to the automated system, so if I just want some stuff that's not going to get sucked into the computer, I can do it that way. Or if people come over and they just want to use a machine, which we share a lot on the server. So if somebody wants to come over and use a machine and it has to be industrial craft, they could just stuff some stuff in there and not have to worry about their stuff getting sucked into my computer. So I'll probably go ahead and do that actually.
He also has my weirdness over here a lot.
Okay.
Do they know about the tunnel we built yet? Well, you built.
Actually, no. I haven't actually showed that yet. And I'll go ahead and I don't think I've showed it. It's not completed, and I'm thinking about doing a track system back and forth between the two houses. But it's not even close to completed because I'm actually going to take this up to that level somewhere, I think I might. And then I tunneled this out using the pickaxe I have, which makes it a lot easier. Of course, I had a lot of sand and dirt, and, not sand, but dirt and gravel to deal with. But I tunneled literally 800 and something meters to Tish's house over, and it worked out pretty nicely because her house is exactly south from my house, so I didn't have to have any turns or twists or anything, and that was not planned. Not planned at all.
I didn't even plan to end up south of your house. I just went in a different direction from where you were at.
And as you can see, this is going to be all jungle wood all through here because my tree farm is given a massive amount of. You didn't collect this diamond at the bottom of the stairs on your side, Tish.
Yeah, I know. I have several things still to collect down there.
And I am actually going to finish this on my my Let's Play recording, and it shouldn't actually take too long because I'm going to use the wand of equal trade. So I'll just have a bunch of wood in my pack. It'll exchange for the stuff on the wall, ceiling, and floor, and it'll be done. It'll probably be an episode where I just make the focus of equal trade and have it done that way. Okay, so I am going to set this up in what manner? I'm going to. Everything starts with the macerator, so I'm starting with the macerator. And as you can see, because of a bug, you can overpower machines currently on here, and later on I'm actually going to fix this with I'm going to actually upgrade these to the maximum amount of power, all of these machines, so that they can just take all that power and not have to worry about anything. So I might or might not do that on the video, who knows. I just kind of weird about how I decide to do that because nobody's giving comments telling me what they want to see, what they don't, so I just kind of go with it. So that's powered. Now I'm going to have an input somewhere for this, and just like I'm going to throw some stuff in chests. The stuff's going to get carted over to here. Probably have some buffer chests in between, and even a tesseract to throw stuff into chests for me from a laser drill, because I'm going to do the laser drill for the Let's Play, so I might as well go ahead and benefit from it as well. And then it's going to get pumped into the macerator. Then from the macerator, it's going to get pumped into a furnace. And there's the furnace. Then from the furnace, it's pretty much done for that stuff. So the rest of the automation is going to be a little bit different. It's just going to be however I decide to do it at the time. And I don't think I need two furnaces out here in here. I don't have two macerators in here. So I'm actually going to put one of these furnaces away and probably put it out here for everybody to use. Anyway, so to stress this, if you set up something anything near like what I'm doing here, I highly suggest putting buffer chests wherever they seem applicable, because you don't want to have all of your stuff getting bound up into one single chest and then machines start shutting down or items start getting spit on the ground or anything like that. If I run a quarry, I'm going to want multiple buffer chests, and that way, because the item ducts, they know when they can pump stuff into chests and when they can't. It's pretty nice like that. So setting up a buffer chest system for that is always a good idea. But that's good for that part of the automation. Like I said, I'm going to just completely skip the whole ore washing plant. Now, we do need the compressor, we do need the metal former set up, and the canning machine, and I'm actually going to set up the metal formers on one wall or something to that effect. So we're going to shove the canning machine up here.
I have 7 jars that are empty. Where do you want them? And your labels. I don't know where to put those either.
Well,
I found the labels. Sorry.
the
And I found the jars.
okay, I was going to say they're just in that chest there. Okay, so now I don't remember how I had automated all of my metal formers in the past, but basically I remember that it was just like, okay, I want to dedicate so much iron to this, and I just threw it in the chest and it would make it, and then push it into my computer. I'm not sure how I'm going to do it this time, but it's probably not going to be exactly like that. But either way, we'll be good. So I'm just going to set them up here, leaving spaces in between stuff so that way I can run pipes to go in between things, and that looks terrible. So I'm going to actually undo that.
So you no longer have any jars lying around at all. They're all put where they belong. I even went on your thing that melts them down, essence down, and puts them in jars. The places that were blank, empty there, I put jars in the place of them.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And apparently I still have a good bit of stuff pulverizing and whatnot.
Now these I'm going to worry about later, really, about how to set them up, because these are mostly going to be for when I automate my uranium and fuel rods and all that, and I could just throw some stuff in the chest and be like, okay, well, I need some stuff, so just throw it in the chest, and blah, blah, blah. I might even actually need more of these metal formers, but who knows right now. And I'm not actually going to overpower these too much. But the compressor, I don't really think I'm going to need to automate that too much. And so here's what I'm planning on doing. Gonna set up these two to automatically send stuff to my farm tesseract at the end, because that tesseract will automatically shove the stuff into my unifier. So even though it's going to be named farm, it's not going to be from the farm. But it's going to be all good.
The only thing left in this pulverizer is that silver, which is yours. The one on the end.
Okay, so I'm going to have a dump chest in here, in this room here somewhere. Let's go ahead and stick it there. That's going to be my dump chest. So I should actually grab a sign. I think that's how you spell macerator. If not, oh well. Alright, and like I said, I'm going to set up a buffering system. It's going to buffer that chest into other chests into other chests. And like I said, that's just in case it starts getting backed up. That should be good for that. Now, since I'm doing this with a mechanical system this time instead of like the last time, in my original game that I'd played on this DireWolf20, it was all set up for the computer was to do everything, which takes a lot of power, and the computer was getting confused and I was getting a little aggravated with the computer. I'm going to have to set up some kind of system for sorting out items from my tesseracts, because I run a tesseract from my um, Actually, I could just sort it out of the last chest if I really want to. Okay, I could just set it up like, okay, like so. Have everything running to these from that, and then it'll come here and won't go into the macerator. So I can just, as I find them, just define them out of here, like do a little split off, or actually just come off here to take them and put them like either directly into my computer or so. Oops. There we go. Okay. I can just simply cover that up with the cover, so it's not going to be an issue. And yes, before anybody complains, I do know that there are better ways to do this. It's just I like to do things different, mix things up, have things not the same all the time. So this is how I'm setting this up this time. I might tear it out later and say, oh, I don't like this system, and do it a completely different way. Oh, yeah, you don't want to accidentally whitelist things unless you're doing it on purpose, because it'll block everything from going through it that's not listed. That was just a little foul up on my part. Okay, so far so good. Now the macerator is going to go into the furnace. Now remember, I'm going to have a macerator set up elsewhere that isn't going to be auto smelted, so this is not going to be an issue. And the furnace is going to be set to go directly to my computer, which for now I'm just going to use an item duct, because I don't want to use I don't want to make ejection upgrades right this very second, but I probably will. Actually, what does it take to make them? Oh, I'm not liking that haste thing right now. Ejector upgrade. Fluidity. Okay, so we want the ejector upgrade. See what that's made of. It's not too bad. Yeah, might as well. Kind of wish there was an option to remove this here, or move it to a different place, or something maybe in a list over here that was smaller. They would definitely make it easier. So I'm going to need a chest. Yep, so I'm going to do the automatic ejection. And it does not cause it to cost anymore, thankfully. Now, would this automatically eject to a tesseract? Let's see, actually. I'm not 100% sure. Okay, so let's give this a test. Yeah, I might want the ore washing plant for the uranium later. I don't remember if I need it or not. Unfortunately, I need some ore here to test it, and don't have any handy. And we just wait and see if it goes into the macerator. It's in the macerator. Now we're going to wait and see about it going into the electric furnace, and then if it gets ejected out into the tesseract. And we're good. It's all working, and it's automatically sending it over here to my setup over here, this tesseract here, which is running my unifier, which will automatically unify all my ores, thankfully, and into this chest, which then sorts it into here. So now I just need a cover to cover that up so it doesn't look terrible. I don't see my saw though. Maybe I stuck it somewhere else.
So you know how I made way too much snow for my walls? I had remembered that I've been trying to get snowmen to cover my yard in snow where the witchery house is, so decided to take it and turn it into snow layer.
Okay, and looking good. I don't really need to do that, but hey. I actually shouldn't do that. Because I'm going to need a tesseract to go onto here to go into my sorting system from my laser drill. Which, now that this is set up, I might actually start quite soon, since I have some actual automation going on here. And just to recap, I'm going to allow this to go from my laser drill and just throw things in here that is not going to be macerated and then put in the furnace, simply for the fact that it's going to stop here, because anything that won't go into the macerator will stop in this chest. Actually, just to show you, see the wood, since it can't be macerated, the item ducts pick that up and doesn't even try to put it in there. So now the stone can be macerated, but that can't. So it's going to stop here. Then I'm going to take and define it from here and redirect it right out of this chest. Now the stone can't be smelted, I don't think. If it can, it's just going to go into sand, which can be smelted and turned into glass. So I am actually going to set up a glass setup later. This isn't it. If I had this fast enough, I could do that too. But it's not going to be, so I'm just going to set up a separate system for that, probably using pulverizers, because pulverizer will not only give you a piece of sand, it's also going to give you a free piece of gravel, which can also be turned into flint, which is useful especially in Thaumcraft. I'm actually going to let this sit there and make the glass. And I've never actually sent glass through my unifier, so I don't know what it's doing. I barely saw. Oh no, I didn't see glass. Seeing the other stuff coming through. I'm loving the unifier. It's just really making things easier on me. And again, this setup is partly because I don't want to really make those drives for this, because they were really messing up on me. But I'm going to have to eventually, because I want to do crafting, and I don't want to just be limited to a little bit of chests and whatnot. So yeah, that's how it's going to be set up for now. Later on, I'm going to go ahead and put them in.
What he's doing with the deep storage units, I actually have Chess doing.
Yeah, she stole my idea. Yep, and I'm gonna put that up there. Okay. I don't actually know that I had to do all that with the pneumatic servo. Probably not, because it auto ejects. But I did it just for, why not? This is going to be an entrance only to the... Okay, so it's going to go from the laser drill to here and get put into the sorting system. Now, since the other side is out only also, it's not going to try to stuff the stuff into that chest. Then it's going to go into here, try to shove it all into the macerator, at which point the stuff that won't be allowed to be macerated will just gather up in here, and I'm going to redirect it right here. And just something here, probably another tesseract, maybe not, who knows, I don't know yet. Depends on what I'm doing. So that's all set up there now, and I can just throw something down here later when I decide what I'm exactly going to do. Okay, so that's about going to do it for this episode. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give a like, subscribe, comment, share. Even if you didn't enjoy it, go ahead and give a comment. Let us know what we could do to improve the videos, quality, anything like that. If you actually want to join in my Let's Play, comment me, let me know. Tell me what you know how to do and what packs you can play on, and because this is not going to be the only series I'm running. I'm actually thinking on starting a super flat survival of, who knows, maybe DireWolf20, maybe a different mod pack. You never know. But just get them comments in, give a like. That always helps. Subscribe if you haven't. I have started something new. I have now decided I'm going to start a subscriber of the week. And if I run out of subscribers, it'll be put on hold until I have new subscribers. And the subscriber of the week can actually appear multiple times, depending on the content. If they are doing videos. If they're not, they're going to be subscriber of the week based off of comments on my videos. So subscriber of the week was actually named several days ago on, I believe, episode 15. Choleric Lurch. Go ahead and give him a check him out. Give him a shout out. Let him know that I sent you. Tell him that people are watching his videos, and tell him he needs to make more videos, because I've noticed he hasn't put out too many recently. But if we tell him, hey, we want to see some of his videos, maybe he'll start putting up some more videos. Other than that, I hope you have a good day, evening, night, morning, whatever it is for you. And Tish would say bye, but she's actually not at her headset at the moment, so we'll have see you later, and have a good one. Bye.